What is up, y'all? For today's video, I'm going to be reacting to a couple episodes of One Piece. So the last episode I ended up watching, it was pretty crazy. With Sanji's body altering to become similar to like his siblings, Sanji's starting to worry that not only will his body change to become similar to like his siblings, but also his emotions. So he's worried that he's going to become emotionless. It gets to the point where Sanji ends up running into this girl without even realizing it. And this girl is pretty much screaming for her life because she's saying that Sanji attacked her. And because of this, it's pretty much making Sanji even more worried that he's starting to become just like his siblings even more. And then Sanji calls Zoro to pretty much tell him like, yo, after this fight, after this is all over, if you notice something different about me or if I start to like lose my mind or anything like that, I want you to kill me. To which Zoro replies, yeah, I'll do that. And because of this, you can really tell how much Sanji is worried about this, you know, how much he's worried about becoming like one of his siblings. So I'm very excited to see how these next couple episodes go, but before I get started with the reaction, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this. So with all that being said, let's get started with the reaction and see what One Piece has in store for us. Like, I cannot wait to see just how Law and Kid get out of this whole situation because Big Mom just grew even bigger. So it's like, it's gonna be so crazy to see just how they pull off on possibly beating Big Mom. Like, look at that, just one swing sent them flying pretty much across the performance floor. Just one swing from her and they were sent flying. Oh, are they both going after, what was it, Kanjuro's like rapid finale or something? So is Marco and Izo gonna be the ones to handle that? She's like so calm with them like falling and everything. She was like just incredibly calm. Granted, Robin can fly and everything, so it's just hilarious like how calm she was. They landed on hit. Oh, so right now Brooke and Robin are like pretty much with Yamato. It's just Yamato doesn't notice it. Oh no, oh no, oh no, this is not gonna be good. With CP0 going after Robin right now, this is not gonna be good. But with everything going on right now, I feel like CP0 won't have really much of an opportunity to go after Robin. Wait, they're inside of the rapid finale, right? They're inside of it? Or are they just like right next to it? Because if they're inside of it, this is gonna be good because then that means possibly CP9 is just gonna die. Yeah, it's a good thing that Yamato told Fugo to run because if he didn't, he would have gotten burned, Brooke would have gotten burned, Robin would have gotten burned. So yeah, it seems like for right now, they're okay. I am getting tired of this dude. Like, this dude needs to be taken out right now. Like, he is just so tiresome. He's so annoying. Like, get this dude out. He needs to be dealt with right now. Like, he's been alive for way too long. Yo, is that who I think it is? I knew it. Hiyori was on Onigashima. That was 100% Hiyori. Oh my, I knew it. She was on Onigashima. Also, she's the one that most likely patched up Kinemon and the rest of them after, you know, Luffy, Law, Zoro, Kid, and Killer showed up. When like Law used Room and Shambles to send them to the basement, she was most likely the one that patched them all up. Oh my gosh, Hiyori. I cannot believe it. It was true. Hiyori was the one at Onigashima. She was the one patching up like Kinemon, all of them. Okay, and Orochi's so happy because like, you know, he thought Hiyori died and everything. He is so happy now. But could this possibly mean that Hiyori is gonna try to fight Orochi? Yo, that would be crazy, but does she have any fighting capabilities? Who knows? Okay, so he's building up some clouds right now. So, I mean, he's making some progress. He is definitely making some progress. Did he? He finally did it. Okay, so now, is Momonosuke gonna, like, just kind of try moving Onigashima, like, into a different direction, or is he gonna try to like just bring it down? What is King doing? Why is he like stretching his face like this? Has King lost his mind? Okay, so this is... That's what he was doing? He pretty like it's like a laser beam. Yo. So King pretty much stretching his like head or whatever and just letting it go, and it just zooms straight onto Zoro like a laser beam. I was not expecting that. I feel like that's like a really silly move for someone like King. I feel like that's more of like a queen type of move, but for King, I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit silly for him. But I mean, it's a good technique, you know, like because it's so silly and King is such a serious person, you know, it's like it definitely would catch someone by surprise. Oh, is this like that dragon twister thing? The like the black robe dragon twister or something? Black robe dragon twister. Oh, this should like hopefully reach King, right? He has to like put okay. Now, with that move being so sick, is oh, it's ineffective. Okay, so now King is just gonna fight Zoro sword to sword. So in a way, they now are on even playing fields, I guess you can kind of say, because King is now just fighting Zoro with his sword. So I think like with a lot of King's powers, they're not from his devil fruit. It's probably because he's a like what is it called? A Lunarian? Okay. And so Zoro's kind of like knocking out a bit, but like he's saying like if he can't figure out King, he's not gonna win this fight. Yo, so Zoro needs to figure out. He needs to pretty much figure out King, like figure out like you know his abilities and everything, so he can come up with a way to potentially beat him. But so far, right now, Zoro's struggling. Yo, is Enma reacting? Is Enma doing this? It's reacting because it hears Hiyori playing that instrument. Because Enma is Hiyori's sword, so it seems like Enma's reacting because of Hiyori's there, and because like you know she's playing her music. Yo, I would absolutely love to see if Hiyori is actually gonna fight Orochi. I would love to see that happen because you know if Hiyori tries to fight Orochi, he's gonna be so shocked. He's like, "Yo, why are you trying to fight me?" Like, yo, I cannot. Like, I really hope that ends up being a thing. I really hope Hiyori ends up being an opponent for Orochi. I think that would be such an interesting twist. Yo, I do. I'm so happy Hiyori is actually on Onigashima right now. I'm so happy that she's actually on Onigashima. Yo, she's gonna make Orochi drop his guard. She's gonna make him drop his guard, and then she's gonna go in for the kill. 100%. Wait for him to completely drop his guard, and she's gonna take him out. You heard him, you heard him. He doesn't want to wake up, which means you gotta put him in eternal sleep. You gotta put this dude in eternal sleep right now. Wow. Just wow. That was a pretty interesting episode. I gotta say that was pretty interesting. Finding out that Hiyori is actually at Onigashima and confirming most likely she was the one who pretty much patched up Kinemon and the rest of them after Law sent them down to the basement so Luffy and all of them can handle Kaido and Big Mom. So she was most likely the one who patched them all up and everything. So it's great that seeing that like, you know, Hiyori is on Onigashima. And plus, I feel like they might be setting up for Hiyori to be the one to kind of like fight against Orochi. But I mean, like Orochi, he's had his head chopped off a few times and he's still managed to survive. So like, what could Hiyori do that can possibly, you know, take down Orochi completely and take him down for good? You know, because I don't know, we've never really seen her fight or anything, right? And plus, she doesn't have Enma, so it's like she doesn't have a sword to fight him with. So like, I don't know, how is this gonna go? How is she gonna like? Because like I said, I feel like they're kind of like setting her up to be the one to pretty much fight Orochi, but at the same time, it's like we haven't seen any like fighting capabilities from her, and she seems to not have any weapons. She probably doesn't have a devil fruit, so it's like, how is this gonna work out? I am hoping that ends up being like either way. I'm hoping that it is like Hiyori is gonna be the one to kind of like be Orochi's like next opponent and everything, because I think it would be an interesting twist. It would be interesting to see like how she ends up kind of like possibly fighting Orochi. And then we have Zoro's fight against King. Zoro is struggling a little bit here and there because of the fact of King's devil fruit power, but it's not only that. Zoro knows that there's something else about King that he hasn't like completely showed off yet, and because of this, Zoro thinks King is a lot stronger than he's really letting off. And with that being the whole thing, Zoro is thinking like maybe it's because of the race that King is, you know, like I think they name dropped it like a few episodes ago, and it was like King is possibly like this Lunarian that was already like kind of like talked about a little bit. And because of that, Zoro thinks that like, oh, if he can't figure out King, then there's no way for him to win. And then we had that moment where Zoro is just on the ground and he hears Hiyori playing her instrument, and Enma starts reacting to it, to where it's like, it's kind of like, you know, it's draining energy out of Zoro's arm again. And like Enma is just going crazy. So I'm kind of thinking this could be, you know, this could potentially help Zoro because Hiyori's there and because Enma was originally meant to be for Hiyori. I wonder with Hiyori being there and like with Hiyori like playing her music and everything, if this is gonna like kind of like power up Enma, which in return powers up Zoro, which could possibly help him fight against King. Who knows? I think that was just really interesting to see like how, you know, to see how Enma was reacting to when it was listening to Hiyori's music. But yeah, overall, really interesting episode. You know, we have Hiyori pretty much being on Onigashima and Zoro's fight against King and everything. So yeah, really interesting episode. But I pretty much got nothing else to say for this episode, so let's just get started with the next one. It's insane that this is not affecting them, but at the same time, it does kind of make sense since they are CP0. So if it did affect them, this would have just been too easy to get rid of them. But still, it is insane that like this has no effect on them whatsoever. Oh, okay. For sure, Apu has to be taken care of now, right? Like he has to have been taken care of now because this is from CP0. That attack was from CP0, so this has to like completely take out Apu. Now with CP0 being in front of Drake, do they know that Drake is with Sword? They're just gonna get rid of Drake? Oh, they're just gonna get rid of Drake instead of trying to come up with a cover story. Oh, but Apu, he still has some energy left. Apu still has some like energy to kind of do something. Oh, okay. Now, I don't think Apu was trying to save Drake. I think Apu was just like trying to get, you know, trying to get revenge on him. I really thought that was gonna at least take off Apu. I really thought that was at least gonna like finally take him down, but no, like he still manages to get up. But I mean, it's good. It's good that he did, because if he didn't, Drake probably would have gotten hurt real bad. Are they teaming up? Drake and Apu are teaming up to handle CP0. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Drake and Apu versus CP0. Oh, yo, how is this gonna play out? I feel like CP0 probably would still end up winning, but I feel like this would be extremely interesting to see. But yeah, Enma's reacting to her music, so like I feel like this could be a good thing. You know, obviously it's taking the draining power from Zoro, but I feel like this could be good in hopes to like, you know, do some big damage to King. Okay, so he's letting Zoro get in a free hit. He's like, you know, I'll let you get a free hit right here. You know, if you could do something, you know, great, but I'll give you a chance. What does he mean, jackpot? Wait, what is... Did King, or like King, either King knew that like Zoro wasn't gonna be able to do big damage to him, or King just had like, he has some sort of like trickery up his sleeves, right? Like, what was all that about? Oh my, look at that, hell memories. That looks so immaculate. But damn, he sent Queen flying a bit there. He sent Queen flying. Yeah, like what was up with that? Like, was it like like was King like doing like a full counter type of thing? Like was he like just letting Zoro get a hit in because he was gonna be able to take Zoro out like that if Zoro wasn't quick enough? Or like was Queen or was like King just kind of like just showing off to Zoro that like, oh, you could hit me, but like it's gonna do nothing to me. It'll just end up hurting you instead. So Lunarians, yeah, so they were known as gods. So King, King's kind of a god. Exactly, like if Lunarians are so strong and everything, how did they end up becoming extinct? So this means that like they can be defeated. And so with Sanji kind of like not worrying not worrying about the fact that like, oh, King is the remaining survivor of the Lunarians and they were gods and everything, Sanji was like, okay, so what? How did they go extinct? And it, like the way I see it is like Sanji's pretty much telling him like, okay, so King might be a god, but I mean, if they went extinct, they can die. So he's not worried about like Zoro losing to King. Oh, ooh, ooh, oh, that aura. Oh, that looks sick. That looks sick. But is it gonna do anything to King? Okay. Oh no, now he's doing this. He's doing this silly attack again. He's doing this silly attack again. Yeah, like Zoro, like King's durability is insane. Like, was that like every Lunarian where like their durability was just like off the charts? Oh, oh, that had to have done real big damage to Zoro. That had to have done a lot. Man, it's insane just how long Zoro has had that sword. That was like right. This was like before even going to the Grand Line, right? He's had that sword for so long. But this scene is such a classic. I love that scene so much. Where Zoro just like letting luck like decide whether or not he ends up taking that sword and everything. That scene was just so great. Oh, so Enma and Zoro's like pretty much like his first like legitimate like good sword were crafted by the same person. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's kind of crazy that they were crafted by the same person. For like like it had to have been his master, right? Cuz I think he is from Wano, so like like it had to have been originally his, and then you know he left Wano probably, I'm guessing like a little bit when maybe Odin was still alive, right? So he had to have like, or maybe later, I don't know, I forget the timeline and everything, but like he had to have been from Wano, and then he obviously took his sword with him, and then like when he met Zoro and everything, and like the whole thing with Karina, you know, with her dying, he gave it to Zoro because he's like, you know, like this sword seems to be resonating with you and everything, so you should take it. But yeah, that's interesting that Enma and that sword were crafted by the same person. The things that we find out in Wano are just crazy. It's also interesting how like Enma keeps reacting when it hears Hiyori's music playing and everything. And I feel like it's this is hinting at something that like Enma is trying to do something, but like Zoro is not letting it do it because you know obviously Zoro is like you know he's the wielder, so like Enma needs to listen to Zoro. But I feel like in this situation, Enma is trying to do something and Zoro's just not really listening. In a way, I feel like Enma is kind of just like trying to tell Zoro like, yo, I let me try something with this guy, and Zoro's just like, no, I'm the wielder. You know, you gotta listen to me. And I feel like with Zoro not kind of like letting Enma do its thing, that's kind of like what's holding him back right now, doing actual like big damage to King maybe. I don't know. That's just like kind of like what I'm thinking of like what's going on right now with like Enma kind of reacting to Hiyori's music and why it's kind of like trying to do its own thing when Zoro is not like giving a command or anything. But yeah, crazy. You know, we got Apu and Drake going against CP0. You know, hopefully we get a little bit more with that fight, because that one's gonna be real interesting. Because like, we finally would get to see CP0 like fight, because from what we've seen with them so far, they kind of just been sitting around and kind of just like watching things in the shadows and like watching like things like happen. And we have Zoro kind of like struggling some more against King. You know, like King let Zoro kind of like, you know, hit him for free. He's like, you know, I'll let you get one shot in and everything. Zoro does it. There's this big explosion, and Zoro was like, you know, if I wasn't fast enough, like if I was just like a little bit slower, I most likely would have died. So it's like, and Zoro's thinking like King was trying to kind of like take Zoro down by killing himself, but you see King wasn't injured or anything at all. So I feel like King had like, he has this kind of like ability, or kind of like this technique where like he gets hit by someone, but you know, an explosion happens and everything, and the one that hit him gets hurt and probably dies, and King will just be fine. So in a way, it's kind of like Meliodas with his full counter, or something like something along those lines, right? Because I still don't really understand what happened, like how King let Zoro get a hit in, and then like Zoro gets hurt, but King is just perfectly fine. It's just like that either is just like a Lunarian thing, maybe. Who knows? Because apparently these guys were practically gods a long time ago. But yeah, really interesting episode. Real interesting getting to learn a little bit more about Zoro's swords and everything, like how Enma and his the sword that he got from Karina's dad, that both of them are made from the same person and everything. You know, pretty interesting there. And then like the whole thing with King, just the whole thing with King is just pretty interesting. You know, hopefully we get a little bit more with the Lunarians and everything, because there's just, we don't really know anything about them right now. But like I said, really interesting episode, and this was a pretty great episode. But I pretty much got nothing else to say, so I'm going to end the video here. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for my other reactions, also for my discussion videos. So if you're into any of those, definitely subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, you know the whole thing. So with all that being said, again, thank you all for watching. Until next time, see ya.